All right, guys. So I know I said last video that was going to be my last time I would be eating something and um, talk about pickup and but I had to do it again because today I'm going to talk about Facebook and why I deleted my account. Why I think you should too. Um, but anyways, again, I'm not necessarily following a keto diet. Because usually I call this Lean Keto Times, but I am trying to eat up everything that's in my refrigerator because I will be, as you learned in my last video, I'm going to be making preparations to leave the country. So anyways, so I want to go on a consistent fast and minimize how much I eat and stuff like that, and minimize how much I buy at the grocery store. So anyways, this is just some sausage and some rice. So well, I want to talk about why I'm eliminating, or why I deleted or deactivated or canceled my Facebook. I have been thinking about it for a while because I'm not really a political person or anything like that. I mean, obviously I have my opinions and make observations and stuff like that, make comments, but as far as an activist, I never voted before. I never, try to promote some politician or anything like that, or really defend any politician. But when I used to live in Venezuela, I saw the same thing happen when it came to censorship. And Facebook has been obviously practicing censorship on a massive scale. And to me, that's just unacceptable. But it's not just Facebook. It's basically all your social media giants like Twitter and stuff. So I was never on Twitter, but I did have a friend of mine sign me up to one of his accounts, give me a password and stuff. And then I wrote some comments that they didn't like and they censored me, and I didn't even bother trying to, lift the suspension. I was just like, this is not for me. This is retarded. This is ridiculous. So, so I don't have that. The only thing I have right now is Instagram, because that's not really a platform for sharing political views and stuff like that. But at some point, I'm probably gonna get rid of that too, because that's owned by Facebook, and from here on out, you're gonna hear me refer to Facebook as FaceBud. So, that's what it is. It's basically the poop that comes out of your butt. So, but also the main reason why, before I say that, when I eventually find some other platform that I can migrate my pictures and stuff like that, and use it to promote my website, I'll eventually announce that. But anyways, because I want to get rid of Instagram. So eventually. So anyways, the reason why I think Facebook is bad, or FaceBud is bad for pickup, is because it's designed for people to seek validation. And while I'm sure that most people watching this video already know that, it's one of those things where you think it has no effect on you. Um, like you say, oh, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but if I do it, it doesn't matter because it won't have any effect on me, and that's not true. You know, everything we do is etched into our subconscious. And that's where our habits come from. And either we have good habits or we have bad habits. But a bad habit, when it comes to pickup, then that can affect some of our results. Because here's the problem. In pickup, I'm not talking about all the fancy, gimmicky attraction theory and all that silly, goofy, high value nonsense. I'm talking about, bare bones, the brass tacks, or whatever you want to call it, the core pickup. It's about confidence. And, confidence is everything. Comes to pickup. And believe it or not, confidence by definition means you seek validation from yourself. You don't seek validation from your friends, from your family, from anybody, from girls especially. Which is why attraction theory is just silly. Which is why I always preach that high value alpha male nonsense is retarded. Because you think you have to be a high value alpha male or attractive because subconsciously you're seeking validation. I don't care what these gurus tell you, these dating coaches that try to tell you, oh, I have nothing to do with looks and stuff like that. They're lying to you. That's exactly what they mean. That's exactly what they mean. It's LMS. Looks, money, status. That's what attraction means. There's nothing else it could mean. Doesn't mean arousal. Arousal is something totally different. Arousal is what I preach. Arousal is, you touch a girl or you say something crazy to her and she gets sexually aroused. And once she's sexually aroused, she don't care how attractive you are. I mean, she may be reminded by some friend of hers or some outside influence, but if you're isolated with the girl and things are going well, she's allowing you to physically escalate, verbally escalate, that sort of thing, you don't have to be attractive. She might have thought you were butt ugly, when she first met you. So anyways, Facebook basically is a platform that teaches you bad habits, namely seeking validation. Every time somebody likes your post, subconsciously you're thinking, I hope the next girl that I meet likes the way I look, likes my personality, likes my clever push-pull, verbal game, all that silly stuff. Likes the fact that I'm high value and alpha male and all that crazy, retarded, dummy nonsense. That's what Facebook is doing. It's subconsciously teaching you to seek validation. And so even though you might say, well, I'm confident, because I'm a confident guy. I believe I'm super confident. But I know there are times where I don't pull the trigger.
because the girl may be really hot, and I'm thinking, I don't really want to mess this up. And that's no different than seeking validation. You're seeking approval. And why do I have those kind of habits? Because I'm constantly looking to see if I'm getting validation on Facebook. So, if I don't have Facebook, which I don't have now, thank goodness, I won't be afraid to make those moves. Or at least I won't be in the habit of missing those opportunities. You know, see a hot girl, she rejects me, I wouldn't think anything of it. Be like, I wouldn't be in the habit of thinking, oh, wait a minute, did I say something wrong? Or, you know, where did I mess it up? You know, no. I'll just be doing my thing. Let the chips fall where they may. You know, I'll be in the habit of doing that, as opposed to, oh, wait a minute, you know, I hope she likes me. You know, because let's face it, most of these hot girls out here, when you first meet them, you're not their type. I'm talking about the really hot girls. I'm not talking about the she-boons and the ugly, fat, sloppy nonsense. I'm talking about the really hot girls that you like. You're not their type. They don't like you. You know, it's not about your personality, because probably that too. You know, they don't even like. It's, you know, you're not what they're looking for. You know, hot girls, most girls in general, are greedy, and they're looking for the best. They're looking for someone who's super attractive, a Prince Charming, with lots of money, and it can take care of them. That's a fact. I don't care what retarded guru tells you. I don't care. Oh, I don't think it's about looks. No, it's all about looks, money, status. It's all about that. Just remember that. So, when you go in trying to pretend like that's not what the game is about, retarded. It doesn't work. You know, you're scared to death that it's not going to work, because you know it doesn't work. You're subconscious, you know that it doesn't work. What works? Sexual arousal. You know, friendliness, being extra friendly, being the nice guy, maneuvering yourself in a situation where you're alone with the girl and you get sexually aroused. That's what works, because that bypasses all the nonsense, the high value and alpha male and all that retarded dummy nonsense. If you have Facebook, I feel sorry for you, because you're going to be in the habit of seeking validation from girls. Even Tinder and Bumble, which, you know, I still do that at least, but, you know, when you match with the girl, you know, it gives you a what do you call it, dopamine spike. Or in other words, it just, you know, it makes you feel validated and feel good about yourself. You get a match. But then what happens when that match doesn't, you know, come through, or she ghosts you, or, you know, or maybe you get her on the text messaging and then ultimately on the phone call, but you go on the date, nothing happens. You know, if you're on Facebook, you're just gonna be in a habit of walking on eggshells the whole way through. Every time, you know. And let's be honest, you know, Facebook, not that many hot girls are gonna match with you. The majority of girls are gonna be fat, ugly she-boons or some retarded nonsense like that. But every now and then, Go get a hot girl. At least I have. And you're terrified. You're terrified that you're going to mess it up. And even though my text game is pretty tight, because I don't use text game really. I'm just pretty direct, what I want. But I use compliance testing in order to build it up to a date. Even though I know how to do all that, psychologically, it's messing with me. It's saying, "Oh, wait a minute, it doesn't work. How do I feel about myself?" Now I'm gonna be reminded that I'm butt ugly. Girls don't like me. They're looking for the high value alpha males. All that silly stuff. And it's true. I wasn't denying. But again, the point is, you want to eliminate as much or as many platforms that, teach you these bad habits, like seeking validation, and minimize that as much as you can. So that way, psychologically, you're okay. You're okay. Like ever since I only deleted my Facebook. I think it was Wednesday. Today's Friday. And already, I feel a sigh of relief. I feel like when I go out later tonight, I'll be able to go out and talk to girls, and I'll be that much more better at not seeking validation, not missing those opportunities to do what I know what I'm supposed to do, to go for the close, to pull the trigger. And that's why I suggest you get rid of Facebook. I mean, as it's been proven this year, I mean, Facebook is already just a political platform for the Democratic for the Democratic Party. So, I mean, go figure on that. So even if you're, apolitical or not even a Democrat, why would you be on that nonsense? But beyond that, just the fact in the context of pickup, why would you be on a platform that etches in your brain that you should constantly be seeking validation, constantly, And a lot of the girls that I've had on my Facebook, like if they weren't a relative or cousin or maybe some friend, maybe a coworker or something like that, I've already been with those girls, so that was even more validation for me because I was like, oh, this is cool, Little did these other people know that half these girls are already, been intimate with and stuff like that. But do those people really care? I mean, let's say you got 100 friends on your Facebook, and like 30 girls on there, and half of the girls been intimate with. You think anybody else on your Facebook friends list cares about that? I mean, the ones that know that you've been intimate with them, they don't want nobody, to know that. I mean, they don't want you telling anybody. I mean, if you were to do something that stupid, it would just unfriend you. But the point is, you like, at least it was for me. I like the fact that every time I scroll down through a post or something, I would see a girl that I've been intimate with or something like that. I'm like, yeah, and it's just retarded. It's kitty boom boom nonsense. You don't you're just setting yourself up to seek validation in person from a girl, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go out and meet girls and approach, and you're supposed to go for the close. You gotta pull the trigger, and all those steps along the way, are going to get more and more difficult the longer you're on Facebook. Because Facebook says, you haven't been intimate with this girl yet, and there's a possibility she doesn't like you. She's not going to validate you. So, what's the point? Or maybe you've done so good so far, but now you don't want to mess it up because you want to keep that validation going. And all that has its roots back into Facebook, because you're in the habit of, oh, I got these girls that I've been with or what have you on Facebook, and or I want to make this political comment or something like that, and see if everybody agrees and all that. It's just silly, I mean, if you're going to do that kind of stuff, maybe do it on a platform where you're not going to get censored like Facebook. But when it comes to girls, specifically, why would you be on there? It's just training you. Remember about Bitch Training 101. It's train or be trained. And actually, I got a lot of my ideas from the Facebook model. There's this guy, I forget his name. He wrote a book called Baby Steps or something, and he talked about Facebook and how the whole system of likes and dislikes and all that is a training mechanism. And I use the same principle in Bitch Training 101. My compliance testing. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, you want the girl to be seeking validation from you. That's what you want. You don't want to be seeking, you don't want it the other way around. You want it to where you test for compliance and the girl passes. She does something you asked her to do, or you told her to do, or you try to lead her somewhere, and you reward her for that. And so that little reward, that which could be just a smile on your face, or or a comment like "wow," or "you're so cool" or something like that. Some kind of reward like that. Is validation for her. But you're giving it to her when she does something you like, and that becomes, addictive for her. It's just like Facebook. You like, the more you test for compliance and reward, the more she's willing to do for you, all the way up to the close. And this is why, again, attraction doesn't mean anything. High value alpha male nonsense doesn't mean anything. Playing the numbers game is retarded, because you don't need to do any of all that. You just need to focus on compliance testing and reward. And that little reward is validation that's earned by the girl, and the girl feels like it's genuine. The girl feels like okay, one of the biggest misconceptions, and I'll just wrap this up because I'll probably have to make a whole nother video on this. One of the biggest misconceptions in the pickup community, is that girls is this idea that girls only go home with guys who they feel safe with and feel comfortable with. You got to build comfort, and you got to build rapport and all that silly stuff. That's like, yeah, it could work. Don't get me wrong. Anytime I say something like that, I'm not trying to say it doesn't work. It obviously does. But that's really not what a girl needs for you to close. That's not really what
what she needs. What she needs is two things. She needs to know that you're for real. You know, you are who you say you are, and it doesn't matter if you're alpha male or beta male. You could be either one. She could still like you or be sexually aroused by you. You know, which is more important. The second thing is she needs to feel like she earned your validation. And once you look at pickup that way, you know, once you go about it that way, you know, after you get your confidence down, sky's the limit. You know, I mean, you literally will see a girl, a girl that's normally out of your league, you know, just melt in your hands because, you know, it was about testing for compliance and rewarding her with a little bit of validation. You know, when I say little, I mean proportional to what she did for you. You know, that's all you need. And when you see it that way, when you experience it that way, you know, there's no turning back. You know, you'll look at just about every other dating coach that doesn't see it that way as basically retarded. And any of that advice out there, you know, like attraction theory or high value alpha male nonsense, you just look at it like it's stupid and retarded. And then pickup won't become a numbers game. You know, it won't become this. You know, it won't be about spam approach. You know, it'll be about going out there and literally, you know, from the first girl you meet, you know exactly what to do. And really the only thing that could stop you is maybe some unforeseen circumstance, or maybe she's in a situation where she just doesn't want to risk being alone with you. But other than that, you know, I mean, you got to look at it like if the situation was any different, there still has to be a possibility this girl will close. That's how you look at it, you know. But if you look at it like a numbers game, then you're you know, you kind of make it like a black and white thing. You're kind of making it like, oh, you know, 100 girls didn't like me, but one did. I mean, it's retarded. I mean, who wants to approach 100 girls? You know. I remember this one pickup artist. He said, and he kind of turned out to be a sham, but there's a couple things I agree with him on, and he said that you know, it's about the girl's availability. You know, that's really what you're looking for. You're looking for the girls who are available to be in isolation with you, to change menus or what have you, to let you lead them around in the clothes. And yeah, true. The vast majority of those women around the world they're not available, you know, but you got to go find them. But that doesn't make it a numbers game, you know. I mean, that just adds a little random element to it, because you'd be surprised. A lot of those girls that are not available, if they just give you a little bit of time to isolate them and sexually arouse them, you can turn that around. And that's why, it's not a numbers game. You can actually turn rejection around. You can turn a situation around. And that's when you know you're good. That's when you know I know what the hell I'm doing. You know, I don't care what these dummies on YouTube say about a numbers game. This they don't know what they're talking about. Like when I first met this girl, she gave me all kinds of excuses and told me, you know, I can't do this and this and this and that. And then next thing you know, I'm taking her home. That's why it's not a numbers game. Never will. Never has. And it's not meant to be if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, yeah, it's a numbers game. Yeah. Go out there, try to get lucky, use some attraction gimmicks, be high value and all that crazy nonsense. See what happens. Yeah. You'll get lucky. It's like playing a lotto, Play enough times, yeah, you win some money. So anyways, that's all I want to say about Facebook and why you should, in my opinion, why you should get rid of it. I think it hurt your game. I know I got rid of it and I'm already feeling good. I'm ready to go out tonight. I was thinking about going out on the beach right now, but, I went to the gym today. I probably did enough. I'll definitely go out there tomorrow on the beach, and then see what happens. So, but I'm constantly getting better and better at not seeking validation, especially now that I got rid of Facebook. Like that anchor, man, that was the best decision. And if you're taking my advice, I think you will find that would be the best decision for you too. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Hope you enjoy this video. See you next time. Keep taking action.